Hello guys, this is Max and today I'm gonna show you how you can instance some objects with Redshift and Houdini. This is the most simple way I think and the most efficient way to scatter and have the best performance in rendering. We are going to use tools called DomLibs. This is the free HDA on GitHubs. So I'm going to link it in the description. So I will provide you this scene if you want to try. This is a simple 8-field operation I made to have something to scatter on. So I create also some mask. I'm going to show you quickly. This is my original mask I made for my 8-field using this node, the 8-field mask by features, to isolate only the top parts of the mountain. And I create also a flattened part on the middle. So I don't want any grass on the middle. So I recreate, after I convert it to polygon, I create a group's bounding object with the same object I using for the mask by object on the height field, and a simple attribute triangle to make the mask 0 only on the group 1. So I don't have any grass in the middle. So after this, I remove some parts of my mask to have some variance. And for the grass, I don't use any mask, but I'm going to show you quickly how to use the mask to scatter on. So we are going to use the scatter on the line. So after you have your surface with your mask to scatter on, or if you want to scatter on all the surface, you can do it as well. I do this right there. So we are going to put a scatter on the line. So by default, it will scatter on all the surface. But if you want to scatter only on the red parts, you can do on the coverage, you can do scaling, scale by attribute. And you type your mask attributes. So mine is mask or density you can create. And after it will only scatter on the red parts. So I'm not using it in this example. So yeah, when you have your points, I like to disable the relax iteration to have completely random points scatter on the surface. The most important things is the coverage. So this is the amount of points you want to scatter on. So if you put like 10, you will have like big amount of points. What is really important as well, if I show the normals. So yeah, as you can see, the points normals following the surface. So if you scatter like a tree, the tree will follow the blue trail. So this is not really fine sometimes. So if you want to change this, you can go to alignments and tick the blend normal with Y. And if it's 1, the normal will point up only in Y+. And if you want to blend it with the normal surface, you can do, and you just reduce the amount of the slider. So me, I like to put like 0.5, depending on the geo you scatter on. But yeah, this is really important. So yeah, when you have your normals, you can modify it later if you want. So I think this is it for the scatter on the line. So yeah, when you have your points, I'm going to create a wrangle, attribute wrangle on points to create an ID attribute. So this is for optimization later to feed this attribute and have the instances don't move if you delete some points, basically. So to do this is really, really simple. You write I at ID equals at ptname, and this is it. So okay, and you can create a null after. And I will deactivate this. So here's my points with my mask, but I don't using it for now. So when you have your points, I will call it out points. You can copy this null. And also I will do this. And I'm just checking something. Where is my instance? Right there. Okay, so after you have your points, you create an instance node. I will call it like grass instancer. You dive in, you can delete these things, and you need to feed your points. So you create an object merge and copy the path on the object one, and you will recover the points. So me, I'm using the OD tools shortcut. So this is Control Shift and V to copy directly into an object merge. So after this, you will need to create an instance setup. This is the DomLib's node. And you will need some geo to scatter on. So basically, this is the node which will assign the geometry on each point. So yeah, we will need some geometry to scatter on the points. So me, I'm going to use maybe a quick cell bridge asset, and I'm going to show you also for your own asset. So let's open bridge. So you can tap like grass. And for my example, I use this one. I think this one. Yeah. So in Houdini, you need to open the Megascan plugin. It's fine, and we can just check into the export setting. You are in Houdini mode, and we can click export. So this is fine. It provides this node, this subnet. So I'm going to color it red. We can close this. So if we dive in, as we can see, we have a scatter node by default, which is created. So I will press L to arrange this, and I will delete the scatter setup. And as you can see, we have each variant in each geonode. So if we delete this, as we can see, we have some variant. So I'm going to use all this one. So this is really important to have each object separate into geonode. So one object equal one geonode, like this. So if you're using Quick Bridge, this is very, very easy. And I'm just going to tweak a bit this. So you will need to change the displacement and normals to raw, and the roughness as well. Translucency is auto, and auto it's fine. And you can modify to a standard material using subsurface. So I like to do this standard material. Translucency to the MS color, the subsurface color, and roughness to the roughness. And what you need to do to have the translucency is to tick the thin wall, and subsurface you add an amount. 1 equals like full translucence, and maybe 0.2. 0.2 is fine for this plant. So yeah, you have your grass. So this is very simple. You can call it like grass geo library. Okay, so when you have this, I'm going to show you how to feed it into the setup. So you go into the instancing setup, and you can click bulk and add geo, and you will check your grass geo library, and you can select all the instance, all the variants, and click accept. So it will feed all the variants attributes, and you can choose for each geonode, so each variant, so this is the variant 1, 2, and 3, you can choose the amount of chance it will be scattered on the surface. So the more you are, the more this object will be on points. So I rest with 1 only. What is very important as well, you can click match by ID. This is the attribute we create to stick each instance on the same point, even if we delete some point. So this is fine. And you can check the enable preview. You can check if I show, I think this is the instances. So as you can see, each points have a path attribute randomly for now. So you can random seed this. Yeah. So you can check it like this. You can also use random things, so it will random on each point, but you can use a noises. If we use the big scale. And as you can see, if we check the instance attributes, each green dots will have this path, and the pink one will have this one, and so on. So I will show you later. But this is very cool. So yeah, I will click on. So if we run Redshift now, and I will dive into my cam, to my look dev cam, and I have the bokeh on. Let's go. No bokeh. So yeah, as you can see, it already scattered on the surface. So this is pretty fast to do it. Maybe there's too much subsurface on it. I will put like 0.5. Or maybe 0.1, but this is the scale also. So yeah, on each punch we have a variant. So this is not the same plant on each point, but we need to scale it up. So you can scale it up where you create your points. So right there after the ID, or you can scale it up into the instance node. I like to put it into the instance node. So you can create maybe a attribute noise, and I will put an output node. So when you're out of the nodes, it will take only this node in a flag. So into the attribute noise, you can put scale, and this is a float attribute. I will put min and max and set. So yeah, as we can see, we have a p-scale of 0 for some points and a p-scale of 1 for some. So I want to scale it up, maybe a p-scale of maybe 4 for the max. And for the minimum, I will put like 2, I think. 1.25. But yeah, you can tweak it as you want. You can change the noise pattern as well. And as you can see, you have already your plant scatter on. So this is pretty reactive to Redshift. So yeah, I love this. So this is the basic instancing setups. But what if you want to create your own assets on it? I will show you, because it could be pretty long to make your own assets. For this, you will need OD tools. I think you can do it without OD tools, but I don't know really how you can do this. So I will create a basic rocks. So I will just retake my setup right there, and I will break down it. So basically, I create a sphere in Polygon and a lot of frequencies. After this, I will use the RBD material fracture to create some fragments. Okay, so we have each fragment, a sort of rocks fragment on this sphere. So after this, I don't want all these fragments, so I want only like 5 or 6 rocks. So I will create an assemble node. So it will pack. I check the create pack primitive, so it will create some fragments packet geometry. So if we check the points now, each rocks are going to have points on the middle. So after this, I will create a groups and groups by bounding region and bounding box to select only the middle. We can't really see it, but I select only some points on the middle. So this is group type points. And after this, I will blast it and delete non-selected. So I will have only the rocks on the middle. And after this, I will put a for each connected pieces. So like this, it will create also a connectivity node. And for each pieces, so for each fragment, I will match size it on the middle. I will unpack it to work on the polygon, remesh it. I will deform it a bit with the mountain. I will UV it like this with the Labs Auto UV. So I have a pretty good UVs. And I will match size it again only for Y and Y minimum to put it on the floor. And after this, we have all these fragments on the middle. So I will delete some groups, so I don't want any of these groups, but you can stay with this. And I will delete all the attributes and keep only the normals, UVs, and names. Names is very important, so keep it. So after this, I will create a group from name node. I think this is maybe a labs. I don't know if this is the labs node, but you need this attribute. This node, sorry. And I will refer my name attribute. So mine is called name, like this. And you can add a group prefix. So me, I call it rocks underscore. And if we check now, we have for each pieces, we have a groups and call rocks piece 1, 21, 24. And I will add some normals and add my materials. So I add my materials of my rocks. I do it procedurally for now. And I create a null called geolib. So you need to check this node, the display flag to the last node with all pieces on the middle. And when you have this, this is this node, you just right click on it and you will check prim group split and you just type split group and it will create a geonode for each instance, each variant, as you can see. Okay, so this is this one. It splits all groups one by one. And this is procedural because it creates an object merge with the groups right there. But you can modify all the operation right there, but you can't add more rocks. If you add more scatter points, by example, you will need to delete all this and resplit right there. So yeah, we have all these nodes. So this is all the instancing rocks. So you can select all of them and press Shift C to create a subnet, and you call it rocks library. And now you have the same as the flower, the grass. You have the same as this one. So you can replace all the instances. By example, where's my instance node? This is this one. Okay. So for now I have all this grass, but if I click clear, I can bulk and add geo. I call it rock library. And as you can see, I can select all of them. And if I run up Redshift, I will have only rocks. Yep. So yeah, after this, as you can see, we'll need some orient attribute as well. So you can do it into the instance node after the p-scale. It doesn't matter. So I will add a mobs randomize. I like this node. and you can randomize orientation. And I like to put -5, -360, -5, and 5, 360 to 5. So it will random it a little bit on some angles, and 360 around the y-axis. So yeah, you have a pretty good setup now. This is pretty simple to do it. But when you go to rendering, it could be a bit long to render sometime. So you need to optimize the scene. So to optimize it, I will show you. This is very, very simple. We are going to use the AeLib. So this is another library, a free library you can download on GitHub. I will link it also into the description. So you go to your points. You can do it as well into the instance, but this I like to keep it in my original setup. So after you create the ID, you can create a node called camera curling. Up. And if you display flags on the camera color node, you will see you have no points if you don't have a camera called cam01. So by default, the cam is called like this, but me, I changed the name, so I don't have any camera called cam01. So I will need to change this to my camera I use for the rendering. So this is the rscam01. And as you can see, it will delete all points which is not into the camera framing. So as you can see, there is some points out of framing. And if we check this node, we don't have any points outside of the framing. So you will need some merging as well, because if you scatter like this, you will see maybe some bad instancing on the edge. So you had the culling merging. I like to put 0.1 or 0.2, not more. And it will delete some points. So if you can see, we have 260 points, and now we have 210, around 210. So this is really cool. And after this, I like to file cache my points, so it didn't load all the setups every time. And for the surface, you can do the same. So you have the default surface you made in Polygon. So this is pretty dense geometry. You can optimize it or whatever. But in this end, I don't really care. And I put a camera call node. And as you can see, it will delete points outside of the framing. So yeah, this is for the culling. To delete some points outside of the camera or some geometry outside of the camera to win some performance on the rendering. So I will tick all these things. Yeah. So mine is like this. Not this one, this one. Crazy shader. So I will show you how you can create some attributes on points and using into the rendering. So I create an attribute on my points. I do it into the instance node, but you can do it in the real geometry setups right there as well. So after I create my p-scale, etc., I create an attribute noise called mask color. And it looks like that. So I remap it a bit, I change the element size, operation set, min and max, 0 to 1. And I have this sort of mask, and I want to change the color of my herbs, of my grass, by this attribute. So you just need to create this attribute. And when you go to Redshift, so you go into your grass assets and into the material. We'll delete this. And I think this is this one. Where's my base color? Oh, this one. So yeah, you have your base color like this. And by default, it provides a color correction node as well. So if I open Redshift now, I have my grass like this, and I want to use my mask. So I will create a point attribute, and I refer my node. My attribute is called mask color. I will just disable something right there. Okay. So if we plug it into the surface node, you will need to reload Redshift. As you can see, each instancing of his own color. And so this is a mask from 0 to 1. So what I'm going to do after this, I want to modify these things. So this is my base color for now. And if I change the U shift, as you can see, I can change the color of the grass. But I want to do it with my noise. So I want some to be maybe at 250 and some maybe at 50. So I will use this attribute. I will create a change range. My mask by default is 0 to 1, so this is fine, but I want to modify this value. So to maybe, I will stay with 0 for this is for the black part. And for the white, I will maybe make 50. So I will to 0 to 50. And I will plug it into the U. And if we check now, we have some variation into the color. And if you go to maybe 250, as you can see, you can do some trippy things as I did before. And you can play also with the gamma or anything you want. And what I did right there as well, this is not this one. I think, yes, this is this one. So if you want to change really to an accurate color like this, like a poppy color, I take my albedo color, I plug it into a ramps to recover only the details maybe on the grass. So I will create a color composite with my attributes. So I take my attribute by default with a point attribute, and I create a ramp to bind my color I want to. And into the color composite, I will use a multiply node to merge the information of the herbs with my original color I choose. And after this, I will plug it into the input of the color correction. And I play with the gamma, the contrast, the hue, saturation scale, and level scale as well to have a pretty realistic result, like more realistic. And as you can see, you can have this type of color for your grass, a trippy one. So yeah, this is pretty it. And I think you can do some cool things with this. This is very, very simple and very fast to play with this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks you to see this one, and have a good one. Bye bye.